It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Recently, we reported on the One Cup of Pup initiative feeding hundreds in some of our most vulnerable communities. And in so doing, it also brought together a pretty awesome network of NGOs and companies and a few eras worth of Springbok legends and good friends. Now, as we continue to celebrate 25 years since the elation of the 1995 Rugby World Cup, we are joined by two such legends who I'm sure have been trading some war stories while lugging kilos of pup down the production line. Captain of the 2007 World Cup winning Springbok team, John Smit, and the man who kicked us to glory in 95, Joel Stransky. Very good morning. Welcome, gents.
Good morning, all.
Good morning.
Joel, I'm going to start with you. Happy anniversary. I would imagine you've been feeling pretty nostalgic over the past week.
Yeah, it's been a great week, and I think it puts life in perspective a little bit, particularly in these tough and trying circumstances under lockdown. It was, obviously, we've spoken a lot about the Rugby World Cup. We've had a chance to reminisce a little bit and just, catch up with old friends. And I think that's what the sport does. You mentioned two old mates catching up on the Cup of Pup campaign. And I must tell you, John didn't carry too much. His wife worked harder than he did at times. But
that's a true story, guys.
But that's what this whole thing is about, isn't it? It's about the people and the journey and the friendship and all those bits. And this has been a time to catch up on those friendships. It's been wonderful.
You've both been involved in so many meaningful initiatives, especially in rugby and within sport. But considering the heartbreaking desperation that we've seen during the COVID crisis, great to see you rolling up your sleeves with Wayne and the guys from One Cup of Pup. It's one thing lending your face to a photo op, but it's another thing being expected to do actual manual labor. But John, it sounds like you managed to kind of dodge that bullet a little bit.
I went there for the first time, having been invited by Dave van Ussel and Wayne Boardman. And wasn't quite sure what to expect. And I worked much harder than I expected. So I made sure that I took my wife the next week as well. So just to double up on the work. No, but I must say, Joel mentioned it earlier. It's pretty cool. We've done a few things during this lockdown to try and help raise some funds and make a bit of a difference. And Joel's got his own foundation, which does great work. And these two guys created something from nothing, really. And we were just happy to go along the ride and join and help where we could and add a bit of exposure and help financially if there was a need and carry bags of pup and food and deliver. And, you get your hands dirty in something like that, you start to realize just how fortunate you are. It gives you some fantastic perspective.
Joel, as John touched on there, you've had a foundation running for a while now, and this was obviously an opportunity for you to focus again on children. Why have you chosen to focus specifically your efforts on children?
So, and that's really quite simple. Nelson Mandela was my absolute hero, and I was very privileged to get to know him and spend some time with him. And I see John's background is a Mandela image with a whole lot of lovely photos there, and I mean, it really is very special. And he was the one who always said, educating the youth is the most critical part of the future of this country. Education will be the cornerstone. Education will give the kids hope. It'll give them a future. It'll give them an opportunity to get employment. And as we see, unemployment figures skyrocketing at the moment, you realize how important education is going forward. For us, we wanted to make a difference in educating disadvantaged children because we want to give them hope and because we want to give them a future. And in our journey, we came to realize that, you can't just touch lives and walk away again. You need a long-term plan. And you need some sort of initiative that is sustainable and gives you longevity. And so we've dedicated our focus in the last 18 months to testing the eyesight of young kids and giving glasses to those in need. Because the reality is, if you can't see, you can't be educated. If you can't see, you can't see the football or the rugby ball or the tennis ball, the cricket ball. You can't participate in sport, team sport, learning team dynamics. Life is very different if you can't see. So we're trying to help those kids.
Yeah, we'll keep the details of your charity, your foundation up as well. Sort of more commendable efforts, John. The Springbok Legends, not just from 95, but through all eras, have reunited to commemorate 95 with a special edition mask, by the sounds of it. Who will that be assisting and how can we as the public support that?
Yeah, I think I've got mine here. I took it off just for our Zoom call, but I mean, I think this is something that Francois actually helped arrange, and he got the buy-in from SA Rugby. And for the first time, you've got all three teams with the Springbok logo and the World Cup logo. And it sounds like a simple thing to do, but you don't understand how much drama and admin that would require. Exactly. So these masks are available at a leading store in South Africa. I think it's $45 for the kids ones and $50 for the adults ones. But I can tell you right now that all the money raised is going to an unbelievable cause in the Chris Berger Petra Jackson Fund, which looks after recipients that have been injured in the game with spinal cord injuries. And as you can well imagine, funding for that has been difficult. So this is going to help make a lot of people's lives a lot better.
We certainly wish all of the 95 legends the best over this special time, and thank you, along with all of the legends of 07, of 2019, for giving us literally some of the best moments of our lives and proving that sport has the power to inspire and shape a country, and that for this country, we as South Africans, we really can achieve anything we set our minds to.